Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Umbrella Academy is a TV show that I kind of enjoyed. It was alright. I liked it. I guess I'll stick with it a little bit longer. And now we have the card game based on it. So the Kickstarter, I believe, came out right when Season 2 was dropped, or at least when I was watching Season 2. It was a perfect storm for me to be interested in this card game. I like IP games. I like thematic games. So why the heck not? Let's jump into it. And I went all in on this, got the deluxe version, and it was a huge mistake. Now, I buy a lot of games on Kickstarter, and I don't feel bad about most of them, to be honest. I know people are really harsh on this kind of thing. You watch this channel, you see that I pretty much like most of my Kickstarters. Umbrella Academy, no, is not one of them. Umbrella Academy is a terrible game. It's designed poorly. The components are poor. Let's jump in and talk about, let's talk about what I like about it. I like cooperative games. I like ones where we're playing against the board. I like the combat in it. I like those interesting decisions. I like the artwork in this game. The artwork is really cool. I haven't read the comics, just seen the show. I'm assuming this is from the comics, and I like it quite a bit. What do I not like about it? I paid extra for the board. The board doesn't work. It's not enough to hold the cards. It's stupid. Although I do like the artwork on the board. I don't have decisions about where I play my cards. It's like, okay, I don't have a card to play. You could have beat it. And it doesn't play out like a puzzle. Like, okay, let me play this card here, which I guess would also lead to, like, obvious decisions. But this one's going to be like, okay, for some reason, they're going to attack. I have to play a card, then they're going to attack, and you have to play a card. And depending on how many players you have, it might be 3 or 4 people before you get back to playing a card. I just don't like it. It isn't fun. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to be playing every 4th card. Okay, blah, 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 blah. You can choose to attack or heal, but the cards are so similar. I mean, there's some action cards kind of in, but a lot of it is like 7 to 10 attack, 6 to 8 attack. Healing, 1 or 2, 3 maybe. I mean, it's not a lot of variety in the cards, so just even though it has different artwork on it, I feel like I'm just doing the same thing over and over. If you have high cards and you can win, maybe that's a good thing to do. If you have low cards, you probably want to heal. Also, some of the variable powers on is just not, they're just not equal. Like, there's one that I can automatically kill somebody. That's really, really good. There's another one where I could draw a card from the discard pile. Now, that card I draw may kill someone, sure. It also could not. That's not equal. That's not even almost equal. Because the one is clearly better. Because the idea is to kill people, right? In this one. So, killing someone is better than maybe killing someone. It just is. So, I don't see this as being equal. That's just one example. There's plenty more, but I wanted to illustrate that. The game looks good. It has a really nice kind of look to it. It doesn't play well. The rules are garbage. I'm not even sure the game is totally playable by the rules. There are some new rules that are available online. For some reason, it wasn't included in the game. So you can print those out. Those do work a little bit better. It includes this like blocking mechanism a little bit better. It's still not a fun game. And when I play a game, I want it to be fun. So I'm a little bit more passive on these IP-related games. But this one does not work. Steer clear. Do not get this one. Here's Umbrella Academy being the battling card game based on the comic series. You can see it uses artwork from the comic series and not from the show. You can have a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. And then we're going to have a board that we put out. Now, this board is only with the deluxe edition, and it's fairly useless. You can see here that it's a glossy board. I think the artwork on it is amazing. As you'll find out, most of the artwork in this game is amazing. It's just a place to put your cards. And one of the bad things about this thing in general is that it's not very user-friendly. So if you're playing cards out to the table, it's just, you're not going to be able to fit very many on here. It's just, it was printed square instead of rectangle, so it wasn't as it was designed to be. So the board is not actually very good. Now you're going to have an Apocalypse card. That will be the final battle. You always put that right up there. We'll have a start card that has a little baby on it. Really doesn't serve any purpose, but to tell you who the start player is. You also have a giant hero attack deck. So these have a ton of cards that will be in it. There's not a place on the board for it. And you will just have artwork from the comics on there. Now you have humongous pictures here with very little numbers up here on the left, which is fine. I don't feel like anything was user... Down here you have some that will have sibling rivalry, remove one villain attack but lose one life bar, so you can play it for the action. But they kind of fill up the entire card, if you will. There's no border to it. But I think the artwork works fantastic. The problem with the cards, I guess, is that they're so similar. You know, they might have 9 attack and 2 heal. This one's 5 attack and 1 heal. This one has 9 attack and 2 heal. I mean, the cards are just very similar as you go through. You're also going to have this dysfunctional family deck. This is more like a random event thing. Sometimes they'll boost cards to the villain. Sometimes they'll do add extra villain to the attack. They'll do different things. And they have pretty good artwork on it. I love the artwork in this game, I'll be honest with you. Place this card in a hero card. The player cannot use their special power for the turn. So just random events that will come up. You're going to shuffle these up and you'll place them out on the board. You're going to have these villain attack cards you can see. And these cards are pretty thin. I think you might want to sleeve them if you're going to keep it. Once again, just like the hero attack cards, I mean, they're pretty generic. The artwork is nice on it, but 8 attack, 2 damage. 8 attack, 2 damage. 8 attack. I mean, these cards are just the same. They just have different words on them. 5 attack. So just attack and how much damage they do. Anyway, you shuffle those up and you place those there. You can have any number of villains. I mean, the villains all have great artwork on it. Scenes, I'm sure, from the comics. But the only thing that really matters is this little number on it. This little number tells you how many attack villain cards you're bringing out. In this case, 7. In this case, 9. In this case, 6. In this case, 9. In this case, 6. I mean, nothing matters except for this very small number they put right here. That's it. The artwork is great. They do have attack and damage on the back of them. And that is great too. And those will be put out right here. Now, inside the insert, my version came with these little things. The manual doesn't tell you what to do with them. They're pretty pointless if you ask me. I was able to play the game multiple times without them. I didn't bother to look up to see what they do, but it's not in the rulebook. So you also have these life bars that will be used as you're going through the game. I'm not really sure if this life is a bar and this death is a bar. It is what it is, but it's really kind of cumbersome. So you take one of these life bars and you take one of your characters and then you kind of shift it down. I guess when death is showing, you're dead. You do get a number of characters in here. You get number 5, the Rumor, Space Boy, the Kraken, Vanya, Seance, and the Horror. I've got to point out, these powers are not balanced. Some are just clearly better than others. Rumor is really good. I found Vanya to be really good. Seance is really good, but they're not balanced whatsoever. My copy did come with additional ones. Abijah, Dr. Zoo, The Monocle, Inspector Lupo, Mom, and Pogo. I think these are Kickstarter exclusives. I don't know, but they were in my box. I did get the deluxe edition of my game, so these are in here also. Here's the rule book for the game. I found it to be really cool just to cover the rules. I don't know, that was clever. It's going to fill out. It's going to be black with white words, and it's going to kind of fold out. The rules here are terrible. They don't really work that well. There's been a lot of complaints about them. There's a lot of things that aren't explained in here, like what to do with those cards and kind of how it goes through. So there's a lot of things you don't. The rules have been rewritten and put on the internet. I'm going to go off the new rules and not this and kind of explain the game that way because I think those rules are better. This is pretty much garbage. Even though there's nothing in here that tells you, before I even received this, there were new rules online. So these are hot garbage. Download the ones off the internet. They're a little bit better. The first thing you do is pick a character, and you will also pick a life bar here. And this will kind of put you right here that this is in live. So I'm just going to kind of show you a 2-player game. Let's do Seance, and you would just kind of set up like this, if you will. Then you're going to shuffle up the villain deck. Based on the number of players, you would take a number of villain cards. So in a 2-player game, I'm going to take 4 of these villain cards and just kind of put them right here. And then after shuffling the hero attack deck, you're going to take 6 of these in a 2-player game for each of their starting hands. Then we're going to do is draw the top villain card on a turn, and it will tell you how many cards you're going to put out. In this case, 7 cards are going to come out. So that means you'll draw 7 villain attack cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember how I told you the board was too small? 6 and 7. You also flip over to Dysfunctional Family. Add 3 extra villain cards to this lineup. So you went from 7 to now 10. 8, 9. Let's see if I can scoot all this down, because it does not fit on the board. And then you will have 10. So that's kind of how it will all go out. So let's say Rumor's the first player. She's going to look at her cards. Now, the only person she can attack is the first person. If she doesn't attack this for whatever reason, she's got to move on to the next one. So the first one's going to tell me they're going to do 9 attack or 2 damage. So I have some options based on the new rules. Maybe I would play this card with a 10 attack. So if I played this here, I'm going to kill it at the end of the round. Or I could play this 9 attack, which would be the same, and that means that I would block it. So neither one of us is going to get the advantage there. So let's say I do that. And the next one, Seance would go. So the next person in order would go, and they would place an 8 attack with 2 damage. I could also play it to heal. So if I wanted to play something maybe with a lower attack, which they would defeat me because it's 8. 8 is bigger than 7, but I would heal 1 damage. Obviously, at the beginning of the game, I don't want to do that. Look, I don't have anything higher than an 8, so I can't kill that guy, and if I wanted to, I could also play, remove 1 villain attack but lose a life bar. So maybe I would play this, I would lose 1 life bar, and then I could attack and beat that guy. So now, it's Rumor's turn, back to her. She has to attack the third card. So she cannot go back and attack this. She can't go forward and attack something else. So it's a 10 attack. I'm just going to play this to block it. So really, it's only your 3 shots. I'm not going to keep going, but you get the point. Each person has to kill the person in order. You have 3 choices. Attack it, higher number. Heal it, lower number. And then you would heal the amount of points on the bottom, and you would just change your thing up like that. Or you can block it by playing the exact amount. Now, each of the characters are also going to have, so after you get through the whole list, you can play one of the special powers that they have. Rumor says, tell a villain to die. So she could give up one of her life points. It always costs a life points to use this, and just kill somebody right out. So let's say this 10 earlier that we had, maybe I don't want to waste this card. I would go ahead and heal the 3 on it, because I had damage, because I know later on I'm going to have Rumor kill this. So Rumor can just kill this guy right out, and it goes away based on her power, but it does require 1 of her life points to do so. Now, Seance has his power, pick a card from the discard pile to use immediately. So if he had any cards in the discard pile from earlier rounds or whatever, he can pick that up from the dead, right, thematic, and play that against anybody he wants. Once again, it costs him a life point to do so. If you ever get all the way down in your life points, you die. If both people die, in this case, it would be over. A 3-player game, you would need all 3 to die. So there does have a little bit of player elimination in the game, although the rulebook makes it mention that you can stay in the game and still help make decisions. Anybody who wasn't blocked or defeated, you would now take damage from them. So in this case, let's say these 2 people, we weren't able to block them and kill them. They would do 3 damage to us. We can decide how we want to take that damage. And they go up here under Final Battle. So once I get through all 4 of these, now these guys would all be discarded. And once I get through this entire stack, then we would move, if you're still alive, we would move to the Final Battle. The Apocalypse, which would just be a collection of all the people that you weren't able to defeat during the game. So then you would take all these cards that you didn't defeat, and it could be 15, it could be 3 cards. You would take the 4 guys that you beat earlier, the 4 villains. You would pick one at random, which are always stronger, 16 attack and 4 damage. And you would put that out, and now I have to fight these guys exactly the same way. A dysfunctional card still comes out. Now, if you get one of these villain attack boosts, that's easy. It just goes on the top one, so 16 just became a 26. And then you have to defeat these guys. If you survive, you win the game. If you lose, you lose. So you get all the way to the end, have this final battle, and lose, which is fine. But this game is extremely, extremely difficult. Who should buy this game? Fans of Umbrella Academy. Now, I've given this kind of a poor review, but there are going to be people who are fans of the IP. There is a game here. The game will work. Whether you're going to enjoy that game or not, is this better than a roll and move, kid game? Of course it is. It really is. And I think people are just piling on this game, and I may be one of them. But in this section, I like to talk about who should buy this. All the negativity aside, who is this intended for? So fans of Umbrella Academy, if you like it and you're looking for an IP-based game, especially on the comics, you're going to want to get this because this is probably, I think, one of the only games out. There's another one that might be a trivia or something, but Gamers Game, this will probably be it. If you like cooperative games, you don't need a whole bunch of rules. You just kind of want to play some cards. The game plays solo, although I probably play with multiple hands. I think it works better like that. So there are some people that this game would play for. If you don't like the IP or you're not invested in it, I don't think this is anything that you need to see. It'll be a purge for me. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. It really helps us grow a little bit. We're one of the little guys in the universe here, but thanks for watching.